Uh, Imagine you are on your daily errands run through the mall and you go into this shopping center and there's in front of you this guy in a suit looking right at you, wanting to approach you. What you do in this situation, most of the time you walk past him, right? But it takes a really special skill and courage to actually stop someone, even selling something to that person. So that is exactly what we wanted to understand in this sales course. This is our team, Alice, Christiana, and me. And we were working on our product, which is CrewConnect, a platform that divides teams that are high performing based on their skills and characteristics. Our problem for this course was that CrewConnect hasn't had any sales yet. So we wanted to make at least 5 of them. Uh, we wanted to create a sales structure, client database, as well as the value proposition map for CrewConnect. Our big KPI was the 50 sales calls, and our special KPIs was to create a CRM system in Cloudflow, as well as buy the domain for our product and publish our landing page. But now onto the theory.
Before we get into all the selling, we wanted to understand some of the theory. Well, we did of course do something from Janis, but you have already seen most of that. So we will tell you about some kind of theory from the book called Lean Startup, which really spoke to us. And I call it the envelope method. Basically, you can do every task at least 2 ways. And this way, first of all, you do the envelope, you take the envelope, you put in the pin, you put in the paper, you close it up, you put it in the stack. And then you move on to the next envelope, right? Right. You go on to the next method, which is you lay out all of your envelopes, you put in all of the pins, and then you put in all of the papers. And you think, okay, that's more effective, right? What do you do if the paper is too big at the end? You have to redo all of that you just have done. And that is something that you can also apply to entrepreneurship when you can do small batch testing or big batch testing. That is why we decided to do the small batch testing. And because we do not want to be back here. And we did this by shaping the script, understanding what we want to gain from the calls, gathering contacts, and calls. So, shaping the script. We had to understand what is our value to be able to shape the script, right? And we did the value proposition canvas. We started from understanding who is our customer, in this case, organizer who's organizing an event. Their pain is that they already have a lot of workload and are doing a lot of things manually. We move on to what we can offer them, which in this case is our platform of dividing participants into high-performing teams. We create them the gain, which is faster, better, and more results, which leads to better reviews. And but what do we want to understand in the calls? Well, we want for them to take us into their events, to see and to talk to our actual participant. And this is the script, but soon enough we understand that we do not need a script. We mostly just followed our way of our value and our client.
Yes, but we actually needed to gather some contacts to make the calls. So we first of all we thought in our brain, who do we know that organize events, and after that, doing that, we called them and asked. After the call, we didn't bother to ask for other people. Maybe you know someone who would be interested in this. They did tell us, but after we run in the circle of the same people, suggesting the same people, we understood that we had technology. So we used Google and LinkedIn to look for some outside of the circle people. But when we did that, we understood that we need a place to gather all the contacts. So we created a CRM system in Cloudflow with these 6 stages and put the contacts in each stage when we call them.
And we did calls, not just regular calls, but also video calls. And a lot of those calls either ended or had to be started with an email. So we have some, not just from Latvia, but also from, for example, Finland, like Aalto University. And from all those calls, what we learned, that it is a good strategy to ask, hey, how are you doing? Because people open up and they're like, yeah, I'm good. And that already puts them in a positive state of mind. Save the people's contact numbers, and if they call you back, you know who's calling. Because I had a situation where somebody was calling me back because they didn't pick up in the first time, and I was like, who's calling me? And I couldn't find the number in the CRM at the moment, and I had to ask the person, wait, who are you? Who's calling me? I'm sorry. And yeah, also remember who you're calling, like what is their position, what exactly are they doing, because we called event organizers, we asked also student parliaments, so they all need to have a bit of different conversations. The sales call structure, well, it depends on who we're calling, and it will always be in progress, just like the client database and value proposition map, as it will change as we grow. Our KPI, we did 42 out of 50 sales calls. We have 11 people interested, and 4 organizations that are willing to test this. We have this CRM in Cloudflow. We finally registered the domain, and our landing page is live. We understood that we need to explore broader our audience outside of Latvia, because when you have asked 5 people to refer to someone else and they say the same people that you have already called to, it means that the pond is too small for us, so we need to explore bigger. Also set growth and value hypotheses so we know whether we grow or not, and follow up with those who are interested. My reflection is that maybe I'm not the best, of course I'm not the best seller, but of course I'm not the worst too, so just call, and even the worst salesman can make some deals.
And for me, myself, is the customer never knows what they want in the end.
Sales are not only just, yeah. Thank you. This is our cool ending.
Yanni, you have last 30 seconds before you go. Maybe you have some feedback.
Yes, čau meitenes. Tas, kas man uzrunāja man liekas, viena no pareizākajām lietām, ko jūs esat izdarījuši, ir mājaslapa. Tas cilvēkam īpaši, ja jūs strādājat kaut kur uz ārlatviju, iedod uzticību, jo visus pārbauda sociālos tīklos, visu pārbauda mājaslapās. Un, ja viņai ir iekšā arī jūsu bildes un vārdi, ko jūs nodarbojaties kā komanda, tas tā kā milzīgs plus. Par struktūru, kuru jūs izdzēsāt startā un nogriezāt nos visu skriptu, tas ir labi, tāpēc, ka mēs nevaram pēc viena skripta tirgot tomātu mērķi un pakāpojumu, ja, tāpēc, bet tas, kas ir jāsaglabā kaut kāda sarunas struktūra pēc kādas, ko mēs kurā brīdī darām, un tas, ka jūs esat notestējuši vārdu nosaukšanu, ka jūs esat notestējuši, kā cilvēkam klājās, un tas strādā, tās jau rītīgi rulē, tāpēc forši, ka jūs arī esat zvanījušas un pārkāpuši varbūt tās pāri, jo čaļiem zvanīt ir vieglāk, tāpēc, ka čaļi ir pieraduši dzīvē pie atraidījumiem, sievietēm zvanīt ir grūtāk, tāpēc, ka jūs neesat pieraduši, kad jūs kāds atraid, jo jūs esat tās, kuras parasti kāda atraid, ne? Tāpēc tas ir tie grūti, ka jūs esat sapratuši, kad zvanīšana un pārdošana tā ir spēle, grūtāk vai vieglāk, bet tajā ir kaut kas apakšā slēpē, tāpēc malēš. Man rītīgi patīk. Paldies.
Paldies.
Es gribētu prātīgi vēl parunāties, bet man ir ļoti svarīgs zvans, jo 1 minūte gaida, tāpēc, lai visiem viss izdodās, un mēs ar Āri vēl, lai jums visiem vēl aprunāsim. Tāpēc labu veiksmu vēlējumu no manī. Čau visiem.
Paldies.
Ciao.
Atā.
All right. Really good regarding that you are going already outside Latvia. So that means you're kind of thinking more globally already, how to do that one.
We have 2 responses from international people, so Aalto University and Lazy Hack.
Also, Gruzia's Erasmus type of things as well.
Yeah, that's really awesome. There was one thing, what I saw there, it's awesome, landing, domain, CRM, all that cool. Only one thing in CRM, what was missing there, when you added in the contacts, I didn't saw any value, like euro value added to the contacts.
We had one.
There was one? So basically, you still kind of know, even like, let's say, the worst case service you're selling, you probably could have a number added in there. Basically, if you have 40 approaches, you would assume, let's say, at least 500 each. That would mean you know for how much euros you're going there with that CRM system. But since you have zeros, that's not that motivating to have 40 calls with zeros at the end of them. So it's just something, even if you don't like get it or it doesn't work, it's good that you have this. There was just 0.00, 0.00, and so many zeros. That was just that was the one thing for sales. It's really good to have this value for potential client that you're trying to at least like minimum thing to kind of have a deal, because you're supposed to like have a call and maybe have it like a deal, right? In best case scenario, they pay for that. Let's say a bit less than that would be you're able to test it. Let's test your prototype there. But still, you would have this offer there. Not even maybe in the first time, maybe in the next round, in 3 months or 6 months, when the next round comes, you have done a good job, then you, boom, have a sale, basically. And I'm not sure if you do sailing, but it kind of sound like you're not the best salesman. So it was just kind of sounded more else that you're doing sailing, not sales at one point. Yeah. But it's good insight. Even the worst salesmen who do sales are doing some sales, actually, and getting some number game there. Really good. Any else?
No, it's great.
Amazing.